everyone, Boudica here to do a video about housing. It can be a little confusing at first, so I'm going to try to show you the basics. I highly suggest that you get the add-on EHT if you're planning on doing any housing. It takes a lot of the headache out of housing. However, I do know that a lot of people either don't or don't like to use add-ons, so I will show you how to do it in-game first, and then at the end show you the benefits of EHT. So come with me to our first house. Hit U to bring up your collections. Go over to the Housing tab in Collections. Choose the house that you'd want to go to. I'm going to choose Hall of Lunar Champions because that's our guild hall. And then Travel to House. You get the option to travel inside or outside. I'm going to choose inside. Welcome to Mini Marco's Skooma Den Guild Hall. To do anything in your house, you have to hit the Housing Editor button. Originally, it's F5. I, however, have changed my key bindings, so mine is currently F9. So hit your F5. Down at the bottom, you see R for Browse, F12 go to Entrance. F12 can be really useful if you get stuck doing something while placing it. Sometimes you can get stuck underneath a platform or something like that and you can't get out. So if you hit F12, it'll go back to the entrance and get you unstuck. To be able to place items in your home, hit Browse. Over here you'll see all the list of different things that you can put in. What will show will be anything that's in your bank, currently on your character, or in your storage chests. If you look up at the top section here, you'll see Place. This is where you find all the items that you currently have. The next tab is Purchase. This is where you can purchase items for crowns for your house. The next tab is actually one of my favorite, Retrieve, but I'll show you that one in a minute. So to place an item, go back to Place. I'm going to place this statue right here. Hit E. And let's go ahead and place it up here. So your mouse wheel button will move it backwards and forwards for you. I'm going to try to place it right here. So then you will see down at the bottom arrows, numbers 1 through 6. 1 turns it, 2 turns it the other way, 3 will make it lean forward, 4 back, 6 one way, and 5. You could just place your item like this. However, let's pick this item back up with left click. Down at the bottom you see surface drag. If you have surface drag on, which it is currently, it will not let you do anything but put it directly on a surface. Now, sometimes you may want to put it into the surface. To do that, hit T again. Just turn surface drag off, and now you can put it into an item. So if you only wanted to see this top section here, you could place it like that. And then if you click it again, hit T for surface drag, it'll bring it right back up to the surface. So let's go ahead and place that, and hit R again. Back up to my favorite tabs. That's the basic on placing items. Purchasing, just purchase through the Crown Store. Retrieve. I'm going to show you an example of how to retrieve items that you can't actually get. In order to do this, I'm going to go to another home that I know has lots of problems with this. So bear with me while I jump to another home. This is one of my storage houses, as you can see on the bottom there. But I also did a competition room in here as well. had lots of problems with not being able to retrieve things. So if you take a look at this corner over here, you'll see that there are lots of things overlapping each other. Sometimes this makes it difficult to be able to retrieve one item so that you can change it. Here's an example. If you hit your Housing Editor button, you can see everything light up, meaning I can grab all of these different things. However, I really want to grab this fox right here. But if you look, I can't grab it. Everything around it is taking precedence to the fox. So, what I'm going to do is hit R for Browse, go up to Browse, and then go and find the object. This one, I believe, is in either Gallery. Yep, here it is. So, all I do is click this, and it gives me the option to E, modify, R, put away. I would E, modify it so that I can get it again. If you wanted to just put it back in your bags, you could hit R, but I just want to move it around. So I'm going to hit E, and it gives it back to me so that I can move it around. I'm just going to place it right here so that I can show you another cool feature. So I place this here. Obviously, I don't want it looking backwards. So I want to undo what I just did. To do that, all you have to do is hit Z, undo, and it puts it back into the position that it was in before. You also have the option at the bottom left to redo, which is Y. Can also be useful, but I don't use it as much. The last tab I want to go over with you is under Browse, and it's the Settings tab right over here. This is where you can make it your primary residence. You can also set your access, so either no access, limited visitor, or decorator. Decorators can move anything that you put out, but they cannot actually place an item. So you do have to place all the items, but a decorator can come in and then change anything that you have in the house. Visitors, of course, are just anyone that wants to come and visit. Here is your Visitors tab. It has a list of people that are considered visitors. You also have a ban list, guild visitors, and a guild ban list. It's kind of funny to have a guild ban list, but hey. So back up to General. This is also where you do your paths for any item that has the ability to do a path. The types of items that can do paths are either your banking assistants, merchant assistants, and house guests. You can also have a path for your mounts and your non-combat pets. Now I'm going to show you the differences between regular and EHT. So I'm going to reload UI and put my EHT back on. Now that we have EHT on, let me show you what it can do. Hit your F key to open Housing Editor and go to Browse. This is basically the same. There are a few differences though. Up here at the top you can see that they have list-only items in your inventory, in your bank, and in your coffers. So if you're not using EHT, they all show up together, and sometimes it can be a little bit harder to find things. I do use the bag option quite frequently. It does come in handy. Another change with EHT is when you go to your collections. With EHT, you can now go up to here for your houses. You don't have to go through the process, so they've added an extra tab for you. Before, you used to have to go through down here and figure out what you wanted. Now, with EHT, you go up to the top here, and these are all of my houses. You have different tabs: recently visited, which is really nice. Sometimes I forget where I was. My favorites, this is where you can actually organize the list. So I have Dalaran Sleek Creek House as one of my top ports. I'm actually going to move that down. So now it's been moved down one slot. You can choose to order it alphabetically, date, last visited, manual order, whichever you like. I personally like manual order. That way I can put it in whatever order I would like it to be in. You also have different tabs like guild homes. So all of my guild homes, community houses, which are open houses. Any of these houses can be viewed for either inspiration or just for fun. Definitely check them out. There can be some real fun ones in here. Another thing I like about EHT is how easily it is to move things. Take this chair for example. Before, you used to have to hit your F button and then could just move it around very plainly. However, with EHT, you can hit G, and if you see over here, now this armchair is selected. You can then move it different increments, everywhere from small to large. I'll show you what they do. Very small. I'm going to move it to the west here. Barely moved. Now, if I do large, I'm going to move it to the east, and it is now all the way, oh gosh, it's not even in the house anymore. So, it can move quite a big distance if you need it to. I'm going to actually hit undo to put that chair back and show you how you can actually move groups of things as well. So I'm going to come into here, deselect this so that nothing's in here, and then go over to this table here. So I want to move the high elf table and everything on it. I hit G, you see a little check mark there. Then you need to go select Red Guard Decanter, hit G, Silver Kettle, hit G, and Dress Cup, hit G. So now I have all four things selected, and since I have all four things selected, I can now move it around the room. These arrows are really helpful so you can figure out which way you're going. I want to move it into the center of the room, so I'm going to hit west, and all of it moves very far because I forgot that I had large on. So let's undo, and it brings everything back. Let's try that again on a smaller increment. As you can see, it didn't move far, but all four items did move together. This can be incredibly useful once you've actually done your project and want to move something to another spot in the room. It happens sometimes, and this tool is very useful for that. One last thing that I want to go over is any item that you can interact with, like this armchair, you can actually sit in. Make sure that the surrounding color is green. If it's green, that means you can use it. If it's yellow, like this right now, that means that you wouldn't be able to use it. So make sure that anything that's interactable is green. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it helped. See you again soon.